Hey everybody, what's going on? Everybody, listen. So I have to be somewhere. I think I got about a little under an hour to spend with you guys and gals and everybody in between. I think I'm gonna start just calling everybody gals. Following up on yesterday's video, and I wanted to cover the reason I wanted to come in. The biggest idea is I had a couple of things I wanted to. I thought, like most times, I always thought that I had. You do RMFN. You have the gold for live chat participation. I thought I had oodles of time, and I would have more things to cover. I have pickups. Oops, I did it again. I talk about my shopping addictions all the time. I was gifted a gift card for Amazon. So I got a taste. Like an addict, I got a taste. And that drove me to then I was on Noble Knights. So I got pickups to share, but what I wanted to do is, and look, I got a OG GM. A celebrity came by and commented on my video, and I commented, and I don't know if it's both of us have the last word, disease or whatever. Not a problem. My last video where I talking about J. Scott Garibay and covering him, kind of an interesting discussion kind of broke out in the comment section, and it raised an issue. Now, look, if I talk about feelings aren't facts, so if I talk about a impression that I get, it doesn't mean that the other person on the other end of the line meant to give that impression. I don't mean to imply that the person leaving the comments, and obviously when I followed up and saw that it was who I thought it was the OGGM, that this person's on YouTube, big presence. So I don't feel bad that like I'm like, blowing up anybody's spot. It was just like, yo, man, I just wanted to comment in your comment section. I wanted you to comment back to me. This person is, known entity on YouTube, so I don't think that there's going to be a problem. Here's the deal. I've spoken about other people that might be classified as lolcows, and I don't mean to imply that J. Scott Garibay is a lolcow, but there are people that, and I've talked about people that cover people like that. People I've talked about, for example, I've talked about King Cobra JFS, Bobby Hale. The reason the beard is getting majestic is because I'm conquering a lot of my problems, including, speaking of King Cobra JFS, I actually do have that trichotillomania thing, so I had to cover that. I had to take that under control, so I'm working on that. Gatekeeping local. Well, it's funny that you talk about gatekeeping local communities is stupid because, I'm one of those people. Like I have talked about ethics in the local, community. Not to say that J. Scott Garibay is a local, but talked about things like I don't dig it when people who, don't show their face on camera talk about the appearance of people like King Cobra JFS or Cyrax or other people. Like, my attitude about it is, we're going to talk about what somebody looks like. Let us see what you look like, or when I talk about J. Scott Garibay and contemplate about, is there a diagnosis or something going on? I talk about, hey, I have a diagnosis. Or when I talk about King Cobra JFS, about his issues with alcoholism and addiction and denial of those issues, I always make a point to say, I'm an alcoholic and an addict in active recovery, and part of my issues are, coming from that space. Now, and I might have, and I talk about, issues that I have with other people that comment upon certain people in other ways that I would not think are good and ethical and right to talk about. And some people would say, like, you're a dick, and you know what I mean, F you. And that's fine. If I talk about a standard that I have, or things that I think are right and things that I think are wrong, that doesn't mean that other people, need to abide or play by those rules. And if I get an impression off a back and forth that I had with someone in the comment section, and I get an impression of what I might feel is an impulse to gatekeep or control my behavior, that doesn't necessarily mean that that other individual, like I said, meant that or felt that. It's also, I want to say, part of the reason I wanted this discussion, I'm not trying to have that discussion with this individual. This video is not directed at the commenter directly. I want to have to talk about the comments and go through the comments so that it's an open discussion to say, sometimes people communicate and don't realize maybe that there are subconscious, assumptions going on, or that their words might be implying, certain things. People might be subconsciously gatekeeping or not realizing it. And what I mean to say is that I'm going to go through this interaction with you, this back and forth through this comment section, and kind of explain that, look, if you don't like the way that someone is running their YouTube channel, or the way that someone is doing something, or if you get the impression that someone is looking for advice, you can give that advice, but you can't tell someone what to do. I've learned that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you've got a point of view or a perspective about how things should go, then, you can lay it on the line, and you can tell, a content creator, you know what, here's the deal. I don't think this is worth your time and effort. I think it's a bad idea. And you know what? I'm even going to go so far as to say J. Scott Garibay's got, clearly defined mental health issues, and covering him or talking about him in this way, it's kind of a dick move. That's a fair comment that a person could say. And I'm not saying that I'm not characterized. We'll go through the comments that was actually left and we're going to talk about. But if someone wants to say that, they could say that. And it's I don't delete comments like that. If someone wants to say that and that's their point of view and perspective about anything I say about another content creator, that's fair enough. But if a person says, and you know what, you better cut this shit out. It's like, if you think that something that I'm doing is a violation of the terms of service of YouTube, then you got, there are tools at your disposal to do what you think is necessary and you need to do. But the most appropriate thing I think to do in certain situations is, if you don't like I don't like certain people that talk about that, like, I'm a big aficionado of King Cobra JFS. So I watch all King Cobra JFS's videos, even though his denial of his alcoholism and his inability, though I'm constantly praying that this guy's going to get the message, clean up his act one day and say, damn, all this shit up, I could do better. Get up off that chair, go to the door, and go to, get into rehab or whatever. It doesn't happen. But not only do I watch him, there are certain people who cover him, clip him, do, things like, do clip videos or whatever that I like, and I'll watch them. There's certain people like that cover DSP, certain people that cover other people that I like. There are other people that cover these individuals that I think I hate. Like, I just hate them. I'll watch their videos once. I'll be like, yo, man, like, I just like the cut of their jib just disgusts me. I just don't watch them. I just learn after a while that when those videos get recommended to me, I'm not going to watch those clip artists. They're not for me. Right? So when I cover J. Scott Garibay, and I guarantee you that I'm going to keep on covering him, I'm going to cover, like, up to last night, the question was, is this guy trolling or not? Someone else recommended, look, obviously other people have gone down this rabbit hole and asked this question. And we're going to see that the person I think that was leaving comments, OGGM, probably, has had experiences and knows, kind of what's up. I know this guy, OGGM, not personally, but I've subscribed to him. I unsubscribed to him after a while because I just wasn't that into his content. And to be totally honest, like, it is what it is. Like, I'm just not that. I just wasn't into the guy's content after a while, but it is what it is. Nothing personal. But we also say hello to Catherine. Thank you, Catherine, for joining us. You know what I mean? Anyway, So like, without further ado, I just want to get to the comments. So you know, like, and like it's just interesting to me to talk about this notion of like subtle and unconscious, you know, gatekeeping. But I also want to talk about like, it was the back and forth was funny because, like I said, you know, I don't think sometimes like, I want like, also part of this is like working out like kind of my own stuff. Also, I want to tell you about my Patreon. I've got an old channel that I never promote here, and it's never appears in the doobly-doo, like in the description box, but it's actually my biggest channel with like, it used to have over 5,000 subscribers. Now I've got like under 5,000 subscribers, just under 5,000 subscribers, just called CW Chanter, where I talk about conspiracy theories and stuff. My Patreon, I currently have to basically like hustle BJs, you know, to these conspiracy, my Patreon is basically vacillates on me doing my Patreon weekly live stream covering conspiracy theory stuff that I really don't like anymore. So I guess change starts with change. So I've never really promoted the Patreon here. Also, I'm bad at that like, comment, and subscribe thing. That call to action to tell you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm at 209 subscribers here, I think. You know what I mean? Like, so subscribe, you know? Okay. My covering of J. Scott Garibay is not designed to, I've covered other people in the conspiracy theory community. That was like how I kind of like made my bones and how I got whatever on YouTube. And when I would cover people, there were people that were clearly defined as people that were like scam artists and liars who lie, and people knew that they were lying. And nobody had really a problem with me covering them. There were also people that I covered who were just, you know, may have had mental health issues or may have had other things that were being triggered by whether it was, you know, some interaction with mental health issues and drug dependency or socioeconomic problems and stuff. Here's Phaedra's live an opinion. I do think that people can use the term of gatekeeping as a way of disregarding what can often be legitimate criticism. Yeah, but Phaedra's, I haven't even gotten to the fucking comment yet. They can. Can you wait till I get to the actual gatekeeping? Because the dude's fucking gatekeeping, to be totally honest. But I don't mean to jump on your ass. You know, I'm hardwired. Listen, hey. But that, you know, but also, here's the other thing. Everybody thinks that they're the world's smartest guy. Tim Frey's in the audience as well. Okay? And they got the answers. And I know I'm up here like I got the answers. But here's the thing you have to know and understand. Yeah, Phaedra's live, but you know, can you wait till I get to the gatekeeping? Can you wait till you see the thing under review? You know what I mean? Are you or are you not jumping the gun? I haven't gotten to the thing under review yet. Huh? I don't mean to be Sam Cedar jumping on you, Jamie Peck, but come on. How come I don't hold on to people? I'm not going to kiss everybody's ass. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, if you come, you come. If you watch, you watch. But here's the deal. Objective facts are objective facts. I didn't get to the gatekeeping yet. And I said, and here's the other thing. I also had a comment in the video as well. How often, when I pull out the tarot cards, do I say this every time, and I said it in the last video as well. I said, now listen, when it comes to the tarot cards or the divination with anything, I try to keep my relationship to woo-woo and woo-woo concepts as practical and pragmatic as I can. I don't know. I don't think that there are spirits in these cards. I don't know how these things work. I looked at the synchronicities. I talk about these things in this way all the time. And I talk about that in that video. And yet there was a comment from somebody saying, I don't know, J. Scott Garibay, you and I was on your side when you were talking about the OGL crisis being made up. But if you're into the tarot cards, then the implication was you're as crazy as J. Scott Garibay. And I was like, it was like the implication is that you were able to bite into and chew and swallow a whole 2 bites of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and you were like, what was the contents of that? What was it made of? Do you know, like, that you missed the jelly part, that you missed the disclaimers about my relationship to tarot cards not being the cards always know. Since time immemorable, people have had a wonderful relationship with the stars and the movements of the planets and the tarot cards coming out of mysterious Egypt. It was like, you know what I mean? It's like the people that think that because they're an atheist and, because there's like, no reason, no rational, logical reason to believe in God, but because they are an atheist, they think that they're like Einstein, 10 levels above, super genius, because they understand that, there's no rational belief that an invisible sky god's going to protect you from snake venom. Wait till we get to it. And Phaedrus, let me just get to the comments. I forget what I was talking about. I get off all the things on the things. And like I said, the person may not be attempting to gatekeep, but I just want to go through it to explain why I experienced it as a kind of gatekeeping, or why I could look at it, or someone could interpret it as possible gatekeeping. And I already acknowledged that in a way, the comments that I've made about not liking other people who talk about certain people it could be a form of gatekeeping. But I've never think that I should send Kiwi Tapes an email, the way you're doing things, the way you're covering Cyrax or, King Cobra JFS is all wrong. You got no heart. Because I know if I don't like this content creator or Smokey MC or whatever, mind you, I don't watch their contents. But here we go. Let's just get to the comment and we'll see. And it starts off fine. It starts off with me complimenting them because the first thing is fairly innocuous. And what you're going to see is, I think that it was just a case of someone refuses to not have the last word. But I'm going to tell you that in my life on YouTube, no one has caused me more consternation. I can deal with enemies all the time. Check me out on X. I tolerate people engaging with me by sending me, in response to every post that I make, I have a constant troll called the Mediator. He changes his name all the time because he constantly gets, taken down because he's a vehement anti-Semite and racist. But he sends me photos all the time of me getting beheaded by jihadists, me on a cartoon masturbating, like, whatever. And I don't block this person. So I have a fairly thick skin for people making personal attacks and death threats against me in MS Paint. But the biggest problem that I have is I know when people, it's the people that present themselves as the helping hand that are really the people that annoy the shit out of me, because I know when people are using this kind of language that ends up being like kind of controlling. But anyway, I may be expressing myself too bad. Let's just do this. Can you see this? Let me just make sure you see this, and we'll just read this. Here's where it starts. This is the OGGM, and I'm just, and if you know the OGGM, he's got a YouTube channel, and it's been around for 1 million years, and that's fine. Of all the humans on Earth, I doubt Skynet would pick JSG. The AI artwork was removed from the book. The AI art was in the digital printing, and it was removed the very next week. any digital copies would no longer have the AI art in it, and no one has the physical books that contain the AI art, as it was never put on the market. This is yet again another series of lies from his delusion to get attention. And that was the first post 23 hours ago. And I was like, and so my reply an hour later was, excellent fact checking. I would think this means he is indeed trolling. Or do you think he is somehow not aware? I should have put a question mark there, but I didn't. I have a reply from them. Trolling means you are doing it. There's a misspelling there. Who cares? You are doing it with intent. Oh, I doubt JSG has any idea what is actually going on with WotC and AI art, or even if he owns the book in question. I mean, who knows that? It's best not to get too deep into the rabbit hole. That is his mentality. Now, that's a piece of advice. And now that's what I'm talking about. I did not, that's fine that if he wants to give me advice, okay? It's best not to get too deep into the rabbit hole that is his mentality. That's fine if he wants to, if the OGGM wants to give me free advice, but it's not solicited. That's gatekeeping. I don't need unsolicited free advice. If entities are reaching out to Scott via words in a book that no one else has seen, then I doubt it's an AI and probably something more sinister. Well, look, you already said that you don't think that he owns the book, though more than likely this is just another attempt to get attention. Then he is doing something intentionally. Scott is poking a bear as always, fishing for input. If no one responds to these, he will move on to another topic till he angers someone and then comment on his videos or makes a video about him. So yes, in some sense, he is trolling, but he also believes everything he says, even though he has admitted on more than one occasion that he lies. So look, it's fine. The OGGM at that point, he did excellent fact checking, which I thanked him for. He gave me free unsolicited advice, which is okay and whatever, but he's going back and forth. He's trolling. He's not trolling. And like I said, I've got, people sending me, things on Twitter that it doesn't matter to me. So it is what it is. We have a person joining in. He's a deeply troubled guy with little real world experiences, and it is what it is. But you are correct. I feel bad for him. He needs help, but won't get it. Okay, I think that's insight. And look, here's a response from me. Thank you so much again. My questions on the subject were truly sincere, and it sounds as though others have already found the answer. Emojis. Response from OGGM. It's an uncomfortable subject. I don't like talking about it or him. It just feeds his addiction. So why are you talking about it? Now, here's what I'm talking about gatekeeping. If you don't like talking about it, stop talking about it. But if you don't like talking about it, it doesn't mean that I'm going to stop talking about it. It doesn't mean that Diversity and Dragons is not going to stop talking about it. It doesn't mean that anyone else who comes along is not going to talk about it. It is what it is. Here's my response. Here, again, I repeat, it's an uncomfortable subject that I don't like talking about it or him. It just feeds his addiction. That's opinions about J. Scott Garibay. That, no offense to the OGGM, I'm not aware of the OGGM having a license in any sort of mental health profession. I'm not aware of him not having a license. It is what it is. But as I said, this is my response. Now look at my response. Well, you don't need to keep engaging on my behalf. Please do enjoy the other things I talk about on the channel. Now, at that point, what have I said? He has said it's an uncomfortable subject that he doesn't like talking about, or him, it just feeds his addiction. That's fine. And I say, Well, you don't need to keep engaging on my behalf. I'm giving him permission to stop replying, to stop talking about it. As far as I'm concerned, you brought the extra information about the digital information about the AI art. Thanked you for that. You gave me free advice about insight into his feelings about it. Thanked you for that. People have already been down the rabbit hole. Please do enjoy the other things I talk about on the channel. That's basically it. Someone says, I think the guy is bipolar, hits a lot of the criteria for it. That may be true. As I've already said, I have a diagnosis for, because my guy is not into labels, I have an undefined mood management disorder. I'm on the same medication that a person with bipolar is on. It is what it is. In response to that individual, the OGGM says, I'd say that is a good guess. That's fine. I reply, well, I made my speculations, and then parentheses, with required caveats and self-identifications, close parentheses, in the video. But yeah, that would be my best idea. Show more replies. And then the OGM, this is what I mean by gatekeeping. This is the one that prompted me kind of to make this video. Let's move on to another topic. You move on to another topic. No, look, here's the deal. It's nothing personal. Listen. When I said you don't need to keep engaged, feelings aren't facts, and I'm an overthinker by nature. So I'm probably overthinking this one. But all I'm saying is this. When I say you don't need to keep engaging on my behalf, you can go. That's it. When you say, let's move on to another topic, here's how I feel about it. And feelings aren't facts. You may very well, the commenter probably may have just been like, let's move, whatever. If you don't want to talk about J. Scott Garibay, then you do not have to talk about J. Scott Garibay. But if I want to talk about J. Scott Garibay, I'm going to talk about J. Scott Garibay. And the feeling that I got from that exchange was someone was telling me what I could do. But I'm probably overthinking it. Listen, so someone got me $100. What do you think, guys and gals? That's what I was talking about, Phaedra's Love. So here we go. So listen, working, I'm not the world's smartest guy, third or fourth maybe. Says Jonaside is joining us. Bucky, I've seen legit gatekeeping, like they see a new young channel and get mad and try to send their trolls and make up lies about the channel. And they say, well, no, I'm going to be like, I probably remember Charles the Classified. That was some good, wholesome trolling. There you go. Actually, oh my God, Charles the Classified turned out to be a whole other story behind the scenes, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. Tim Frey, it's not like you really need $83 million in prison. We got Robert Redmond saying hi then. So listen, I'm not saying that OGGM themselves was gatekeeping, because I could just see this being like, this dude thinks that was gatekeeping. Listen, don't tell me what to do. That infuriates me. I had a person end an email with, when people end an email with, so let's just agree to disagree, and I think it's best if we just leave it at this. Don't know. Or let's just, you know what I mean? Like, you can suggest that we end certain things a certain way, and then we can come to an agreement. But it's like when people, there's I'm very sensitive to the notion of manipulative and controlling language. But maybe that's just, I've got a history. Listen, so I've been very good at controlling does anyone have any thoughts on this or whatever? No one has any thoughts on this, of course. I apologize to the OGGM. What often happens to me in these situations is I feel as though this is this, and the other thing. And then I read it and I'm like, well, now I look like an asshole. But not as bad an asshole as J. Scott Garibay. He's not an asshole. He's got a mental health problem. Listen, but apparently he's got to get. Okay, I'm going to stop. Listen. Okay, so I was controlling my shopping addiction. It is what it is. Over shopping, over consumption of gear, of stuff. I don't have credit card debt. I don't have debt at all. I'm doing good. Part of the problem. But I knew I was accumulating too much crap. I'm one of these dudes now. I've got a storage unit, right? Got too much shit. And at 48 years old, I was reaching the critical point going between the science fiction books, the horror fantasy books, the light gay erotica, the comics, and now the TTRPG books. Even if I read like Schopenhauer, there's no way I'm going to finish all these books by the time I die, probably. So I might as well stop buying books and shit. And yet, I kept on buying. So I was really doing work on trying to bring that stuff under control. And I was doing good. I really was. I was really doing good at, being like, okay, we're going to, we got X number of Marvel Legends, Build-A-Figure guys going. We're going to do something like, just limit it to bi-weekly purchases of these figures until we get these things, wrapped up, and then we're going to stop it. Stop it! You know what I mean? And then I got into the little minis because I'm like, oh, but we're gonna, I started playing, getting into, Savage Worlds games. I'm like, they're miniature based. I'm like, I need miniatures. I'm like, need miniatures, whatever, dude. Anyway, I got $100 gift card for Amazon, right? And here was the problem. This happened to me exactly the last time at Christmas last year when I was trying to bring my shopping addiction under control again last year, because this is an ongoing process. I was trying to get my compulsive shopping, compulsive consumption under control. And then I got these gift cards. Okay. And it was like, oh, cool, because I've got these gift cards, I'll be able to get stuff, but not spend money. So, but here's what happened. The exact same thing that happened last year happened this year. I was like, I've got this $100 gift card, but because I'm such a compulsive shopper and TTRPG shopper, I don't like PDFs. So I don't do too much on DriveThruRPG. And I like getting things on Amazon, even though Amazon, I know it's horrible and it's horrendous, because I like the notion of getting things, buying things, and getting them kind of like, the next day or the next couple of days, rather than if you get things like print on demand on DriveThruRPG, it's like it could be weeks before you see that shit sometimes. So I tend to go to Amazon more than I go to DriveThruRPG. So anyway, but the problem is that the stuff that I'm actually interested in on Amazon, and I got burned so many times with used books on Amazon because so many times they would advertise things incorrectly, and you'd end up with stuff that was supposed to be a vintage or, retro, like an actual old thing, and it would turn out to be just a print on demand thing that was just being hustled on Amazon. So, but also the thing is, the stuff that was verifiably, reputable TTRPG product on Amazon, I've been compulsively shopping on Amazon for the last 3 years or so much that anything that I'd be interested in, I kind of already have. Oh God, that's shows you how bad it got. So I had $100 gift card, and I'd gone into studying, the Savage World system, but I already had this one ish. Anyway, I ended up spending it on, I was going to get the Savage Pathfinder DM screen because I'm really into using the DM screens as rules references, even though a lot of people don't like the Savage Worlds DM screens because a lot of people consider them too short for, they're not that tall, but I just use them for rules references because I'm generally a solo player, exclusively. I have no friends. Anyway, but I ended up going with the regular Savage Worlds GM screen because I thought it would be more universally applicable, because I just didn't want to be, and it came with these mini adventures. I didn't bring that back to the office so I could show you. Then I got a couple of prepaid. I can't paint, and I know myself. I'm not starting a new hobby like painting, which will never happen. I'll end up with unpainted minis and a whole bunch of shit that you gotta go to Fiverr for that, Oswald. You gotta go to Fiverr for the $100 friends. Buy 20 of them. I got some minis. I got this human rogue. I only get, just like the action figures I covet and buy. Save Your Wings of Redemption jokes, Little Women, because I'm just such a fan of that book. They were no longer little girls. They were little women. Get the reference? Anyway, I got this human rogue. And I always shop for value. So I'm always like getting, like, it's great because getting girls because no one likes the girls. I got this elf paladin. And I got this dwarf wizard. Okay. So I got that, and I got that DM screen. And then I got this set. Some dudes in here, including this elephant guy that I was really into. I got this Icons of the Realm collection of minis. Okay. And that and the DM screen. Oh, and I got this Loki figure that I needed to help complete this weird, I forget what his name is. This like bird-headed, Toth-looking white guy from like Moon Knight or something. I don't follow these. I know who this guy. This is classic Loki. He was from the Loki series, the old guy Loki. I forget the actor who plays him, because he was with an alternative head, and he was moderately priced. So I got that. That was the Amazon purchases, right? So I was like, okay, cool, awesome. So there you go. So I purchased stuff, and I bought some stuff. I got some miniatures, and I spent the gift card, but I hadn't bought a TTRPG book. The dude from With Mel and I. Yeah. It's a Jeff. It's not Jeffrey. Is it Jeffrey Rush? Wasn't he also? Wasn't he also in Warlock? Wasn't he also in Warlock? Wasn't he also in Warlock? Wasn't he like opposite Julian Sands in Warlock? Jonaside says no. He wasn't in Warlock. He wasn't in Warlock 2 or 3. It's not Jeffrey Rush, but who's the actor? But he was in Warlock, wasn't he? Phaedrus Live says yes. So we got disputes. Anyway, I gotta go soon, but here we go. Nope, not Warlock. Jonaside? We got disputes. I might be thinking of a different dude. We'll figure it out. But he's that guy, Richard E. Grant. Hold on. There he is, Richard E. Grant, Wikipedia. Here we go. With Nell and I. Warlock, 1989. Bram Stoker's Dracula. Ooh, the little vampire. Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. He was in Warlock. Game of Thrones. Thank you. Oh! Shame. 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 Genocide. Fuck you. Genocide. Fouling out on the warlock. No magic for you. OGGM says, come on, man, don't make fun of genocide. Little mind, genocide. Julian Sands died on the mountainside with genocide. This is how I treat some of my biggest supporters on YouTube. I gotta tell you something. Why don't I have any friends? Why I'm like the J. Scott Garibay of this world. Fuck yeah. Hey, Oswald Spangler. At least I got a princess guitar. What are you strumming, dude? Damn, Julian Sands shouldn't have gone out like that. Hey, that day Julian Sands shouldn't have just gone out. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Too soon? Listen, I gotta go soon, but hold on, wait. Jesus Christ. Here we go. Hold on. So, but I had spent the $100 gift card, but then I had not purchased. I was going back and forth because what I was really psyched to do with the $100 gift card is I'd gotten back into. I was playing this. I was really into this Savage Pathfinder, this Savage Pathfinder for Savage Worlds book. So I was really stoked to get some Savage Worlds books, but at the price point that they were having them, I couldn't find anything that I didn't already have that would be like that I wanted to buy, that like I could justify the purchase of, like that I felt that I could justify the purchase of, because like they had a main rule book, but I was like I already have the rule book, like the Explorers edition, I had the white one with the anyway. So I was like, but I had that taste, like a good addict, like a good, like the shopping addiction. The addiction is real. I had the taste. Ooh, I had the taste. So I was like, don't do it. I went to Noble Knights Games. I did. And like a guy slumming for prostitutes on Hoe Avenue. There's literally a place called Hoe Avenue in the city. It's called, but that's not where the ladies hang out and the guys. But there's a place. Anyway, how do I know that? That's how they open up with that documentary they used to have. Anyway, so check this out. So we gotta shoot through this. I spent $88. It's the clearance section. I'm a prostitute in the clearance section. They had like 3,000 things listed in the clearance section of Noble Knight Games. I went through, I shit you not, like 1,700 plus listings. I got a problem. But yo, $88 later, here's what I got. This is the 2014 edition of Dungeon. Why 2014? It's the nostalgia loops. It was the 2014 edition. Listen, if you don't know, you don't know. Nostalgia loops. From 2002, it's the D20 version of Traveler. One book, everything. D20 Traveler. If you know the D20 system, everything from 2000 to 2010, you mastered. Check this out. Arcana Unearthed, a variant player's handbook. This is by... Where's my phone? Oh, shit. Oh, shit, yeah. What is this? I'm coming. I gotta go. Unearthed Arcana by Monty Cook. The third edition of the world's most popular role-playing game. This is from 2003. 23. It's a variant of the third edition, right? Player's Handbook. We got an endorsement by Gary Gagas. No question, Monty Cook's Arcana Unearthed is a knockout. I gotta run. We've got Call of Cthulhu, the 6th edition, because it's from whatever year it's from. Hold on, wait. Speedballing. Come on, work with me. What is this? Come on, motherfucker. We don't have time for this. 2005. Very good year. Finally, we've Savage Worlds Fantasy Companion. Because this is because it would help me with the other thing. Blah, blah, blah. Savage Battle. There you go. Yo, I only realized later I already have this. So I got double. So we'll do a giveaway at some point. The Marvel Universe role-playing game. One of the Marvel Universe role-playing games. I think this one is from 2000 and whatever, dude. Another 2003. I got so much shit from 2003, and I got more shit from 2003. Castle Falkenstein. I got this because of the dice list mechanics from 1994, 30-year nostalgia loop. Oswald Spengler. You're a dick. And that's it. $88. 3 books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books. 1 board game. $88. How many starving Palestinian kids could you have fed rather than feed your TTRPG Amazon habit? For $88, I don't know. I really don't know. How many times can you be? That is like, hold on. Where am I here? Should I fucking ban you now? Oswald Spengler, why don't you go ahead and send me an apology via email, or maybe, I'm not going to ban you, but you're just an asshole. It was okay. I got to go, guys. Fuck you. Way to shit on my stream, Oswald. You're a fucking asshole. Oswald Spengler, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is, bro. How many, well, actually, let me ask you this, Oswald Spengler. I don't have time for this shit. I gotta go.